That's the sound of a future children's campus being built. That's the sound of a new heart beating in an 8-year-old. That's a game of pickup basketball being won on wheels. And that is the sound of joy when a teen is cured of cancer. This is what it sounds like when you donate to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Give today at choa.org/donate, because nothing matters more than kids.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi Fruit Loop. I know you don't know what I was about to tell you when you hit record.
That is true.
That's what you know true. Otherwise.
I know that. I don't even know.
Well, I know it's cold here, so Canada needs to shut the front door. Okay?
No, Canada, leave it open. Let's go.
It's going to be like super cold this weekend.
I'm ready for it. Yeah, it's going to be like 17 degrees.
Yeah.
People laugh because some of these people are negative 17 degrees.
Yeah, well, we're not, and I'm not used to it. And I'm going to tell you, my Grammy's little finger that aches, she said, it's going to snow here this weekend.
Yep. There you go.
All right, guys. So we're going to take a little break from the Night Stalker tonight because there was a lot of news in the different cases that we followed today.
It's really because I want to be able to sleep. That's why.
Hey, I'm telling you, 2 nights in a row, I've dreamed about that mug, and I'm a little scared to go to sleep tonight.
Hey, I bet that's where that saying come from. That mug. It's talking about a mug shot.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. We've always said mug.
Yeah.
And dude. So
that mug's crazy. That mug's crazy.
Yeah. That mug spouting hogwash.
Yeah. Hogwash.
So out of the gate, we want to say a big thank you to one of our sponsors, Too Cool T-Shirt Quilts. You can go to toocooltshirtquilts.com/pretty lies and alibis. If you look behind the both of us, if you're on YouTube, you can see one example of the amazing products that Andrea and her crew can put into your home. Very custom. We love them. So go check them out. toocooltshirtquilts.com/pretty lies and alibis. We have other sponsors now, but Andrea is our first. So she's very special to us.
Yep.
All right. Fruit Loop, you want to talk about the petition link?
Yes. So I spoke with, and please forgive me because I can't remember her name, but part of the family from Victoria Rose Smith a couple weeks ago. I think it's Michelle.
Yes.
And just kind of went back and forth with her about some stuff and told her we'd put this link back up. They're at like 46,000, I think.
Oh, nice.
So we're wanting to push them over the 50,000 mark. So I know a lot of you guys are newer, and we did this case. If you want to go back and listen, you can. But this is Victoria Rose Smith, the little girl who was beaten to death by her foster mom, who was on the Food Network, Worst Cooks in America, Ariel Robinson, who's in jail right now. So
yeah, but she's I actually checked those records today. It's still the last thing posted was the order for the mental health evaluation.
Yep. So they're wanting this petition is to change things within the Department of Social Service system. So
yeah, it's everywhere, and I think as a country, we all have got to make some noise to have some kind of reform.
Yep.
It's happening too much.
Yeah. So go click on it. We will put it you'll put it on YouTube, right? In the description.
Yeah.
And we will put it as well. So
yeah, I'll put that in the description. So I have to tell you, I'm talking to my daughter. I'm cleaning up. I cook spaghetti and big spaghetti meal for the kids. And my mom came down, and so I'm cleaning up, and I don't know how we got talking about Einstein, but we were. And I said, hey, he used to live in Greenville, or he came here a lot and stayed a lot. His grandson's actually buried where my dad's parents are buried. And she said, wow, he lived in Greenville? And I said, yeah. And she said, did you get to meet him?
You old.
He died in 1955.
You
I said,
old
girl,
sucker.
no wonder you got a C in math.
You were old. I paid her $20 to say that.
Yeah, well, yeah, revenge is sweet, my friend. It's coming. So we had Chad's hearing today, and it was a lot of back and forth. It wasn't really anything huge. In the end, Judge Boyce granted Pryor's motion to extend time, and there will be a hearing on March 23rd, we think, for the motion to dismiss. So that's coming from the grand jury transcript, I think. I don't know. Curious to see his arguments about what he thinks he's got that makes him think he can get this dismissed, but you do you.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that happened at that hearing today, and we knew it, but Judge Boyce and Rob Wood both confirmed that a second grand jury met, but Chad was not the subject of that grand jury.
Dun, dun,
Which
dun.
kind of leads me to believe Lori wasn't either, mainly because right now her case is stayed. I don't think they could do a grand jury about her.
No.
So I'm thinking Melanice, maybe Melanie Gibb. I don't know, but word on the street is nothing came of it.
Yeah.
But things can change. Maybe it's part 1 or 2. So Pryor was saying he wanted the transcripts from the second jury. And Wood said that he's not entitled to that because Chad was not the subject of it. And Pryor said that was ludicrous. Do you remember in Spaceballs? Ludicrous speed.
Yeah. I was going to say he listening to some rap.
Right.
Yeah.
So Gannon, by the way, Chad was not in attendance today. He waived his right to be there.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So we didn't get to see him like statue.
Man.
So today's been 2 years, unfortunately, since Gannon Stalk was murdered. And Letitia was in court today, and they talked a little bit about when this goes to trial. Jury selection is set to start March 28th, and openings right now are set for April 4th. They think the trial will take about 6 weeks, and it's going to be held Monday through Friday, beginning at 9 a.m. every day. The judge said for jury selection, he's going to need 2 courtrooms, and he's hoping to find a pool of about 70 people, and then they will have 18 people sitting in the jury box during the whole trial. She'll be back in court on March 17th, where they will discuss the results of her mental evaluation, if they can get it back, because the professionals who are doing her mental evaluation said that her file is so large, it's going to take them to February before they can see her to do this. And getting the report to the court, it's going to be the end of March. So it's going to be down to the wire, getting that report to see if she's competent to stand trial, maybe within days of when the jury selection starts. So that's kind of what happened today. The defense asked to suppress some cell phone evidence, an ADT security system, and a couple of other things. All of it was denied.
Yeah, it was like 2 cell phones, right?
2 cell phones, the ADT security system, and I think there might have been one more thing. I had it typed here, but I think
wiretaps.
Wiretaps. There we go.
Yeah. It was on the phone. So she had the one phone, and then I think it was like 5, 6, 7 days later, she got the other one.
Yeah, like at a Walmart or something.
Yeah. And I think the ADT security system would be where, remember in the house, it would trigger.
Well, I used to have ADT. So every time one of us opened a door, a window, it logs it. You can go into your app and it'll tell you what was breached and when and for how long.
And I remember when we broke down that case, that it was movement in the house. I remember. If you remember right, it would say.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, nobody entered that area or whatever or something.
Right. So we also had some news about the Harmony Montgomery case today. The Massachusetts Chief Justice says the state is reviewing the custody decision to give Harmony to her father. And I think good. And also, we need to do that every time you send a kid back to a family and they end up dead.
Mm-hmm.
So New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, I think I got that right, is questioning why and called Adam Montgomery a monstrous drug dealer.
So he's questioning why they're reviewing it?
No, he's questioning why she was given back
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
to him.
I just laugh because you always get the freaky, like,
Gosh,
crazy
I know,
names.
man. I'm the one that does the notes. You think I'd look out for myself every once in a while. Apparently
Yeah.
not.
See, look who I get. Chief Justice Kimberly Budd. Oh, that was so me. Kimberly Budd. That's so easy to say.
Sherlock is on the roof of my house, so my Jeep is parked close, and all I can hear is him running up above me. He's running back and forth up above me.
Oh,
If I move that, he's in trouble.
oh yeah, he's stuck.
He's stuck. Yep.
He's stuck. So Chief Justice Kimberly Budd said the Massachusetts Office of the Child Advocate and the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court is reviewing the matter. They've narrowed her disappearance down to a 13-day window, now believed to be between November 28th and December 10th of 2019. Police have also found the Audi and Chrysler that the Montgomerys lived in before Harmony disappeared. The reward is now up to $144,000.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully somebody knows something and sees that number and wants to talk. Somebody knows something.
Yeah.
The other thing he was talking about is, presumably they're getting cell phone records, but he said with it being from 2 years ago, it just takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
That could give them clues into places they were. So that's kind of all that's happening with that case.
So now we're going to jump to body cam footage at Zulima's on December 21st, 2019. The officer visits Zulima's to ask if she knows where JJ and Tylee are, and she said no. The officer said Lori is concerned they were going to take the kids away and says that's not true. If you remember, this is when they're trying to convince everybody that Lori knew. Tell her we're not taking the kids away. We just want to see, how they are. Everyone is just concerned for their welfare since they haven't been seen since September. They're willing to see them through Skype or FaceTime. And we talked about that before. They want them to hold up a paper or something.
Yeah.
He says if you contact Lori or Chad, tell them we are concerned and need to lay eyes on JJ and Tylee. Zulima says she has no idea, and the officer says he doesn't think that's entirely true, and he's pleading with her. He understands she may be worried what would happen to her, but he says he's concerned about the kids.
I was just showing my bracelets.
Oh, I got mine on too.
I got your second one.
Look. Oh, wait. I always go opposite of the way.
Yeah, I do too. I never know how to show them, but we're
to go.
representing Cresha. Thank you.
Yeah.
So where were we?
Zulima said she has nothing to be afraid of whatsoever. She says he can contact her attorney with any questions they have. The officer says they're taking Alice's truck due to a search warrant. He says there will be a lot less damage if she has the keys, and she said she does. Because if they don't have the keys, they got to bust the window in, I guess. She says, let me go ahead and call my lawyer real quick. She brings the keys to the officer and has her phone in her hand. He gives her a copy of the search warrant. She asks if that's all they need from her, and he said it is, so she goes back in the house.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot. She just lawyered up early on, and
she did from,
literally the night Alex died, they had a lawyer.
Yeah.
So also one thing that we heard is the Josh Duggar interview that he gave to feds on the car lot. That hadn't been released until the last couple of days. So I went through it, made some notes. We're going to go through that. He was very nervous. I think he knew they were on to him, but so let's go through this. The officer asks, what does he do for work? And Josh says that he owns the car lot and he does real estate as well. And the agent asks if he has his real estate license, and Josh says he does not, but he helps his dad with his commercial properties and manages those. He said he dabbles in a lot of things, but the car lot is his main source of income. He said they moved the car lot down there in June of last year. He asked who is his internet provider, and he said Ozarks Go. They asked how long he has had that, and he says he doesn't remember. When asked if they use Wi-Fi, Josh said they've tried a few things. He said they had it daisy chained with 3 routers to be able to use the entire car lot. And Josh said their cell service isn't great there in the valley. He said he now has 2 routers hooked up. One is long range and the other is for close up. When asked if the if he had Wi-Fi passwords, Josh said one is password protected and the other is a guest network. Last week, he said he changed the configuration because the main router was open. He says he has Verizon for his personal cell phone service, and the officer asks about electronics in his residence. And Josh said, "What do you mean by that?" And he asked about other phones. And Josh said, "Yeah, his wife has a phone." And Josh said he had recently upgraded his phone. When asked about emails, Josh tells him his email address. And the officer asks about what electronics they have on scene there. And Josh said his cell. And when asked about who has access to that phone, he says a guy who works for him will use it to go around and take pictures of the cars on the lot. The agent asked if the phone was passcode protected, and Josh said not very well. Like his kids and his friends and coworkers knew the code. The agent asked him to give the passcode, and Josh asks if he's required to give it, and the agent said no, and Josh said he would rather not give it.
Hey guys, now it's time to share about our sponsored ad for this week, June's Journey. And Gigi, I have to admit, I get more and more obsessed with this every time I play it.
It's really fun. And I've talked to some of our listeners, and it seems like they're liking it too. So in June's Journey, you play as June Parker, an amateur detective investigating a series of mysteries full of twists and turns around every corner. You'll put your observation to the test, sharpen your sleuthing skills, and relish the thrill of solving the case.
This game is so unique. It's hard for me to find a game that truly captivates me, but this game is like really cool. It definitely does that. I love looking for the hidden objects at every level. And I love how the game develops chapter by chapter.
Yeah, well, me and 30 million people agree with you on that. I like the style and how it kind of takes you back to the roaring 20s. And so when you're playing, you really do feel like you're a detective helping solve this case. It's a great whodunit game.
You're so right. The graphics on this game are what the world good. Another thing that's awesome is that June's Journey is free to download. You guys have got to go play it and let us know how much you love it.
There's definitely a detective in all of us. Find your inner detective and download June's Journey free today on the Apple Store or Google Play.
The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. Whether you're making a traditional roasted turkey or spicy turkey tacos, your go-to shrimp cocktail, or your first Cajun risotto, Kroger has all the freshest ingredients to embrace your traditions. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We've locked in low prices to help you save big store-wide. Look for the locked in low prices tags and enjoy extra savings throughout the store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When you download the Kroger app, you have easy access to savings every day. Get the most out of weekly sales and receive personalized coupons to save on your favorite items, all while earning 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Kroger makes it easy to save while you shop, whether it's in-store or online, so you get the most value out of every trip, every time. Download the Kroger app now to save big on your next purchase. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Must have a digital account to redeem offers. Restrictions may apply. See site for details.
So he also has a laptop in the RV on site. It is password protected, and the same people have access to that who have access to his phone. The kids use it to watch movies. The agent said there's an HP desktop in the office. Josh said it is now password protected, but the guys that work there use it. He said the password is written down for the guys who work there. It seems he's making a lot of excuses.
Oh, yeah. He's already given him every reason why it can't be him to me.
Yeah. So Josh said there's a hard drive in the surveillance system, but it's not active right now. Agent asked how long he's had his cell, and he said 2 months ago. The laptop for 5 years, and the HP he's had for 2.5 to 3 years. The agent asked about thumb drives, and Josh says there's more than one in the office. When asked who they belong to, Josh said he didn't know. He said they find stuff in cars all the time. He said they could have wiped some of them to use for car photos. The agent says they're trying to find out what led them to this business, and that's going to involve things that have been uploaded or downloaded to the internet. The agent mentions uTorrent and asks Josh if he remembers Napster back in the day, which was a peer-to-peer file sharing network. Josh said that was a little before his time. I remember that.
I love Napster. No, I didn't just admit that, did I?
You did.
No, I hated Napster or LimeWire.
Yeah. I remember LimeWire.
Yeah, girl. That's how we got our banging like road trip CDs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Allegedly. Okay.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. The agent said the peer-to-peer networks have evolved and now you can share videos, software downloads. He asked if Josh is familiar with them. And he said he is familiar with them. When asked if he uses them, he says yes, and it could be on all of them. Then he says possibly the laptop in the RV, the HP, and his phone. Josh says he has a Tor browser, and they upload stuff for their cars. He said his friends set them up so they could be encrypted because it's safer.
So the
blah,
agent,
blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah, blah,
right.
blah.
So the agent says to him, Tor is used to browse the dark web. I don't know if you've ever heard of the dark web. And Josh says he's heard people talk about it. And the agent says, but then there's torrent where you share files. So Tor is how you access the freaky people. And then torrent is how you share files that you would not share in an email or anywhere that you want it to be seen. That's kind of how I get it. The agent says, when you say Tor, I'm thinking dark web. So if you meant torrent, and Josh interrupts and he's stuttering real bad, he says, so what you're saying is then, I guess I'm still confused. He says you can download. I don't know. I guess I better not say if I don't understand. That's literally how that went. Because when he starts talking about Tor, Josh knew his goose was cooked.
Oh, yeah.
He got nervous. The agent says, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you say sharing files. I assume you're talking about torrent and not Tor. Josh says, your question is pertaining to which one? I don't see any difference. Josh says, I have knowledge, at least one of them says Tor on there, and that was at his friend's recommendation. The agent asked the usage on the Tor, and Josh says, a very trial term. He says, I do not recall. It is more for the business or personal. And Josh says, I can't speak to that because you have my laptop and my phone. So it's probably split down the middle. The office computer is probably the same thing. The agent says, I don't want you to think we're here because music is being downloaded. Josh says, so why are you here? And the agent says, we're getting to that. Josh said, so is somebody communicating with, and the agent interrupts and he says, we do a lot of things with Homeland Security and we enforce over 400 federal statutes. One of the things we look at is child exploitation. We work with saving kids, essentially. A lot of times we find through internet tips that people have downloaded child abuse materials. And Josh interrupts and says, so is that what you're saying is going on?
He is the smartest person I know.
Yeah, I want to throat punch him.
Yeah, the agent says, so what we're saying is there's a possibility that there's a piece of this puzzle that might help us save children. Josh says, what is the scope? I guess what I'm trying to say is there something going on with my devices where something's been accessed, downloaded, or uploaded or something like that? The agent says, that's what led us here, yes. And Josh says, okay. The agent says, we need to try to find out what happened and use that information to put some pieces of the puzzle together. Josh says, so does it include this IP address? Is that basically what you're saying? And the agent says, yes. And Josh says, okay. Josh says, so in the scope of your investigation, is there going to be, you'll narrow it down and figure out which device or know if it was any of these devices here? And the agent says, that's what these guys are running around doing. They're forensic analyst. So even if something's going on, if something's on your computer that someone may have downloaded and deleted, they're going to be able to find it. That's what they do. And Josh says, that's great. That helps me understand what you're here for. I understand that. I respect that. That's good. I guess they'll do their work and figure out what they can find.
You know, he was sweating at that point.
Yeah, he better
He
make sure.
knew then while they were there.
He needed extra deodorant that day.
Oh, yeah. And maybe an extra pair of undies.
Yeah. So the agents ask if there's been anything in the last 5 to 6 months between you and your associates who have been on this property that would be why a federal search warrant was signed. And Josh, the agent saying anything that might have accessed accidentally or intentionally downloaded or uploaded from the browser. Josh said, not that I know of. The agent then says they're part of the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, and based on an ongoing investigation, they were able to directly connect to this IP that was uploading and sharing known videos of child abuse materials.
Busted. So Josh said, so it was transmitting or receiving, and the agents say at this point it's probably best you just listen. Oop. He says they were able to get this from his IP address, one specific video and a folder with 65 images containing child abuse material from a specific IP. That was turned over to them, and they served a subpoena to the internet company, which showed the subscriber as Josh. And they were showing, I guess, his phone number, and he said, yeah, that's me. The agent said the cell phone number and the email address came back to a P.O. box because the county property records haven't been updated yet. And it came to a house that was off the property. And so essentially their property records, it doesn't separate that car lot from the property next door on the map they had at that time.
Yeah.
So and we heard about that in the trial too.
Yeah. We know they can pinpoint those locations.
Yeah, and they did eventually.
In that shed.
Right, because the IP address was always Josh's. It's just the map, I think, showed it was in the lot next to the car lot, which isn't his, but the IP address is, it's probably like a little bump.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, I'll tell you what I had a IT guy explain this to me the other day. That your Wi-Fi signal is like a umbrella. Like it goes up and out. So it like rains down so far. Yeah, it was kind of cool. Yeah, he knew a lot. Yeah.
So based on all that, we determined that this was the business where downloads occurred on 2 dates, May 14th and 15th, 2019, through a uTorrent software. Based on that, a federal search warrant was obtained for the property and everything on it to look for devices responsible for those downloads and uploads. That's why we asked about ownership of those devices in certain software, peer-to-peer groups. And at this stage, all we're trying to do is, he says, I don't know much about you until I had to do some research. That's what Josh said. I don't know about, he said he had to do research. Wait, hang on. He says, I don't know much about you. I had to do some research. Okay. So Josh nervously laughs and he says, man to man, I don't know how you do it. It's amazing to me what the media is putting you through, all from speculation. We don't want to speculate. And Josh is just saying, yep, the whole time. We wanted to have a conversation to find out who is doing this because these kids are not actors and actresses on these videos. We know they came from here. This is somebody's little boy and little girl. And at the end of the day, our main objective is to find out who and what devices are being used so we can take these images off the internet so they are not being re-victimized.
It's just crazy. So Josh says, yes. So I guess I have quite a few questions about it, but I don't know how much you can divulge. But I'm curious. You're saying there's images being uploaded or downloaded. If I was that guy, I would have said, dude, you tell me. So the agent says that the IP address from this lot had child abuse materials linked to a peer-to-peer software program. Our task force affiliate was able to download that video and those images from the folder of the IP address of this car lot. Josh says, gotcha. Oh,
Not like that, though. He said, gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. So the agent says, one thing too, we didn't decide to wake up and come here. We've been doing this for a decade. Josh says, I appreciate what you do. Isn't that what you always tell a cop when you get pulled over? Anybody who gets in trouble with the police, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate it. Yeah. Or you cry, right?
I once was going to the beach house and I hit about 120 on a very long, dark stretch of road. It was like 2 a.m. and I decided at the last minute that I was going to the beach. So I literally just piled stuff in my car without a bag because I can just go right to the house, you know? And I got pulled over doing 120 without my license. I have left it at Shriners Hospital when I got off work. It was in my locker like 100 miles away.
You going to the pokey.
I'm in the back of my car sobbing. I'm going to go to jail. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have a record. So I'm trying to find, at that point, I wasn't aware I didn't have my license. So I'm, pulling everything out. So I swear I didn't mean to do this, but I had like my panties in like one little pile. And I was like, can you hold these? I can't find my driver's license. So he's like standing on the side of 95, holding my, silky panties. Yeah, I got out of it. He was like, all right, you go straight to the beach, don't speed, and have them overnight your license to you. So he was really nice. So,
you didn't do that. You drove back home with no license.
Shoot. I wasn't driving all the way. No. No. I went to the pokey and had my parents bail me out so I wouldn't have to drive that long.
No way.
Long way back.
All right. So the agent says those forensic guys are some of the best in the country. Josh says that's great. The agent says they take devices and through third-party software and forensic software without altering or deleting anything, they can go see a digital fingerprint of anything that has happened. So if any of these devices may have this video or images on it, we'd like to know now, because when we leave here today, that wraps our conversation up and we don't have anything to go on and we don't have an opportunity to address it later. So here comes Josh. I don't want to be, I've watched my friends answer things and they get them for conspiracy or for something, and I'm not. Federal statutes are broad and there's a lot of things to it, and I'm not going to say anything that's going to incriminate me or anything. I'm not denying guilt, but I'm not saying that I don't want to say the wrong things. Okay, you saying I'm not going to deny guilt?
I mean, what? Okay.
Said a lot, buddy.
I mean, if they were questioning me about that, the first thing I would say, here's all my stuff. Have at it. I'll give you my passcode to my phone, and I'm totally going to say I'm innocent.
Dude, I'll give you my social security number. I'll give you whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't done nothing.
Ugh.
Yeah. You can look at my text messages.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
Fruit Loop, if something happens to me and they have to get my Google history, please explain to them we have a true crime podcast, because otherwise they think I'm a freak.
I'm going to tell them this was a sick individual.
Oh, man. I'll haunt you after I'm dead.
Yeah. So the agent says at the end of the day, you need to protect yourself. And Josh says, yep, I don't want to say that I'm guilty or not on searching, finding, or accessing inappropriate content at some point. Yeah. He's the smartest person I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to pick up on the Night Stalker again tomorrow. But we just had so much come out today that we just want to stay current with like Chad's hearing and Letitia's hearing and not do it a day later. Night Stalker can wait.
I'm really bummed we didn't find out what color tie Chad had on.
Yeah. Well, he was just wearing his prison stripes, I assume, because he was in the pokey.
Oh, here's a question for you. If you guys know what they wear up there, is it orange? Is it tan? We have a jail here in our area where they still wear like black and white striped.
Well, I think I've seen Chad in stripes, and Lori had the orange and white stripes, right?
Oh, that one day she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know.
Somebody will answer it.
Yeah. I think it may vary from place to place, though, because I know the girl that I know who we do the Glimpse at Live series that we haven't touched in 6 months. They can get stuff from the commissary. They get quarterly boxes now. So like every so many months, you have a website that you can go to that prison gets their stuff from. You can buy MP3 players. You can buy like real soap, shampoo, some like plain Nike shoes. You can buy slides. You know what I'm saying? So you can buy hair color. So you have all your basic stuff there. So I think as long as it's within code, they can wear it.
If you remember in high school, we always knew who had been in jail over the weekend because they'd come back in them little brown slides. You remember that?
Yeah. We could tell somebody got sprung. Somebody got sprung before
You've
class.
Been in jail all weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. We knew a few people that have been in prison, like for big things.
Yeah.
Big things.
Stuff.
Like murder.
Murder knows no bounds. Yeah. Yeah.
Nope. So, all right, guys, that's what we got for you tonight. Tomorrow night, we'll be back with more. We'll finish up the Night Stalker tomorrow, and that's Friday. So then we can maybe take Saturday, Sunday off.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. Whether you're making a traditional roasted turkey or spicy turkey tacos, your go-to shrimp cocktail, or your first Cajun risotto, Kroger has all the freshest ingredients to embrace your traditions. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We've locked in low prices to help you save big store-wide. Look for the locked in low prices tags and enjoy extra savings throughout the store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.